morning. Time for coffee. I hope you have your coffee this morning. I was out here watching the sunrise and just getting my alone time, and had a couple of thoughts that I thought I'd share with you. The phrase that I use on my videos that says have grit and give grace. So I was thinking about that the other day when I was kind of struggling with it, the grace part of it, because I was trying to get through something, and I was trying to have the grit that I needed to get through it. And I realized that what I was doing was I wasn't having the balance between having the grit to get through it and also having the grace that I needed to give. I think that a lot of us really probably struggle with that, and some of us have too much of one or the other. Grit and grace don't always come naturally. Sometimes we'll have too much grit and no grace, and some people have too much grace and not enough grit. And I really believe that there is a nice balance between the two that most of us have a lot of trouble finding. And like the other morning, like I said, I was struggling with having too much of the grit and not enough grace. And what I was sitting out here thinking about that was the damage that can cause in not just ourselves, but in our relationships with other people. I think that God made women to have a little more grace than men, maybe. I mean, men need to have the grace too. They do. They have to give grace just as much. I'm not saying that, but I think that in today's world, women are pressured to be like men. They're pressured to be as strong as a man and to do the same things as a man. But we weren't created that way. We were created to be feminine, to be a lady, to act like a lady, and for men to treat us like a lady. And when we don't have grace in us, then we're not able to act like that. If you're not giving grace, if you're not showing grace, if you're not being graceful, and I'm not talking about wearing dresses and looking, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about your attitude and how you treat people. I see so many women out there struggling with this. They want to be strong like a man. They want to do things that the men get to do, because let's be honest, men get to do a lot of the fun stuff, right? They get to go do stuff, and most of us women, we're at home and we have to do the homemaking, and when I say the word have to, it's a choice, okay? And I loved it. I loved my job. I loved my role. I loved homemaking. I loved momming. But there were times when I wanted to be out there with the guys doing the guy things. I had my 3 oldest children are boy, girl. And then we took a 4-year break. And so my daughter, my 3rd child, always wanted to be out there with the boys. They were very close in age. And she always wanted to be out there doing the boy stuff with the boys. And I had to teach her that there is a balance. There's a time when you can be out there, getting just as dirty as the boys, doing the boy stuff. But there's a time when you need to be in the house doing the women stuff and being graceful. Put your dress on, act like a lady. And you can act like a lady with jeans on, okay? I do it all the time. I very, very rarely wear a dress. I'm not making it clear, but I want us to be able to find that balance. If you are a female, then enjoy that. Thank God that you're a female. We can do things that men can't, just like men can do things that we can't. And there needs to be an acceptance of that. When I was sitting out there the other morning, struggling with the balance, I think what I finally came to realize that really helped me was I need to challenge myself to have the balance in both, because it will give me the strength to improve my relationship, to improve my mental health, have a good attitude. Having grit and grace in a situation gives me a good attitude towards everyone else and to myself. And it gives me the ability to be the person that I really want to be. I don't want to be that person, that female, or that person just in general, that is, everybody looks at and says, well, she's full of grit, but she has no grace. She has no grace about her. And who wants to be around somebody like that? You know, on the other hand, there's the graceful person that has no grit. The person that's full of grace, always giving to everybody and never giving grace to themselves. Right? There's a balance. And that's what I used to be like. And I don't want to be on either side of it. So today, whatever you're going through, whether it's good or bad, whatever it is, whatever your day is holding for you, maybe try to work on that balance of having the grit you need to get through something, but giving the grace to not just others, but giving grace to yourself, and being a gracious person, being graceful about the things that you do, the things that you say. Okay? There's a lot more to the grit and grace that I have really clung to that phrase the last couple of years, and I might do a video or two on and sharing what I've learned and what's come from it. But anyway, today I hope you have the grit that you need, and you're able to give grace to those around you and to yourself, and enjoy your coffee and enjoy the sunrise, and have a beautiful day.